At this point, I'd like to point out a red herring, that is, a misleading argument. Some critics will argue that political liberalism doesn't work because absolute neutrality is impossible. For example, there's a political scientist named Jay Badshewski. Badshewski wrote a book in which he argues at length that absolute neutrality is impossible. In particular, he presents the following correct argument. A principle that says we should be neutral is not neutral towards principles that say we shouldn't be neutral. Now, my response to Badshewski is, you've proved your point, but that really doesn't mean very much. Right? The serious philosophers who talk about neutrality recognize this point. They're not saying that some kind of absolute neutrality is possible. What they're saying is we can get one type of principles that's neutral towards a different set of issues. For example, in particular, Rawls is going to say we can get political principles that are neutral towards a very broad range of ethical issues. Okay. Now, of course, they can't be neutral towards those principles that say we should reject liberalism. Right? That would be too much to expect. Right? But the argument is that the range is broad enough, right, to do the work that it needs to do. So what's the point of this? The point is the following. If we're going to argue against political liberalism because of concerns about neutrality, right, it can't just be because absolute neutrality is impossible. Right? Rawls is going to concede that. What we have to show is that the extent to which neutrality is impossible is great enough to make political liberalism unworkable or implausible. Right? And that's going to be the challenge, right, for some of the critics of Rawls.